Night or afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a very special installment of the T1 Community Tournament. Reason why I say special is because it's actually a semi-final. I myself am Haraldson, joined by my side is Midnight, who is provider of the servers and cameraman. Very sorry, Joker, I'm going to have to put you on hold a sec. Boomer has been popped already, the survivors are already making their way out, there's a Hunter pouncing around, he gets shut down as well. Smoker tongue is cut before anything can happen, and the Spitter will be temporarily alive. We'll be going down now. Some scratch is going to be going on to Coach there. Smoker's still not dead, and he finally goes down. So now I can introduce my other co-caster, which is Joker, who will also go over the roster rundown. Say hello, Joker.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On Baguettes and Wine, we have Kaiser, Jace, Nico, and Toff. And for very annoying children, we have Tim, Laughter, Saros, and Deadeye.
As we saw there, a Boomer has just been popped, which was a little bit unfortunate because they do have a tank up. There's a Smoker pulling in the doorway, will be shut down before anything can happen. So just so that you guys know, while we have a bit of downtime here, this is going to be, basically this is hard rain, but much better. It's going to be hard rain downpour. As you can see here, this particular room is not in the normal hard rain campaign. This is going to be a tank fight location. So I'm very excited to see this. It's not only a semi-final, but it's also being played on a custom map. So this is very exciting to see. They do have a Boomer Charger and a Jockey for the tank fight. Tank will be in the hands of Zaros on the side of Very Annoying Children, which I love the name. He's just throwing rocks through the window here. There's a Jockey already spawned up, just pouncing around, just causing a bit of a nuisance. Tank is dropping down through the glass there. He's going to be trying to pin Rochelle. First punch lands onto her. They don't know the Boomer's there yet. Boomer's landing onto 3 people already. Not looking good for them. There's going to be an in-cap, and the tank is on 2,000 HP. He's going to get another punch, but he is stumbled by the Boomer. That could be devastating, actually. The Jockey is unable to make much happen. Charger's moving in onto Nick there. He doesn't make a connection. Jockey is temporarily landing onto Nick, but will be shut down. Lots of Charger scratches. There was a rock landing. Tank is on 90 HP. He's going to be climbing onto the roof, but they do manage to kill him before he gets to safety. That looked really good for the infected side, actually, but especially with the quad boom. But they did actually manage to kill the tank there. Team Baguettes and Wine on Survivor side. Well played by them, I would say, Joker. So far we have a Hunter and a Spitter and a Smoker. Final spawn in 1 second, which will complete the setup, which will be a Boomer. So they do have a 2-2. Hunter is spawned on the roof above them. There's also a Boomer and a Spitter. A lot of them are actually on the roof. There's a Boomer trying to vomit over this curve there. It actually manages to connect with 2 survivors. Smoker behind the alarm car. They try to trigger the alarm car. They're unable to do so. They still have to deal with a horde from the Boomer, though, so that's going to be 2 medkits depleted, so that's 50 bonus points deducted from their total score, providing they, of course, make it to the safe room.
Yeah, I realized my microphone was off.
Well, Joker is back, guys. So we have a Jockey so far, Jockey and a Hunter. We're going to have the third spawn, which would be a Smoker, so they don't have the Charger, but they do have the 3 other pinners, which is Jockey, a Smoker, and a Hunter. Either going to be a Boomer or a Spitter to complete the setup. It is going to be a Spitter for this little alleyway attack here by the broken house. There's a Hunter already spawned up, but Hunters do not make a sound when they are spawned up and standing. It's only when they crouch that they make a noise, so they can afford to be spawned up earlier without giving away their location. Most of the spawns are from a similar location here. They're all from the same kind of direction, so they're going to have to pull it off quite well. There is a Smoker behind, but everybody else, as you can see on your screens here, are on the same roof. Survivors are being very patient here. Obviously, they are in the semi-final stages of this tournament, so they need to be careful. Smoker from behind successfully lands onto Rochelle here. There could be some interception. Nice interception there by the Jockey. On the hedge is Rochelle. Death Spit is going to go onto her as well, so that's a lot of damage. She could even go in-capped here. Just barely making it out of the Spit there without an in-cap. They may actually have to use both of the other medkits they have. Because as you can see here, Joker, 2 of them need to use a medkit, potentially.
Yeah, that was a very nice use of the Spit right there. Even though the Hunter didn't land.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, the Spitter managed to die on the Smokered victim, which allowed them to do a lot of damage there. They did find a set of pills, and they also managed to kill the Witch and secure the 25 bonus points there. There's a Hunter pouncing around in the distance, just trying to slow them down a little bit. He's going to be moving his way in. Charger rockets from the roof as well as the Boomer. Boomer successfully lands onto 1 survivor. The Charger is cut short before he can land into a wall. They still have 2 medkits, but 2 of those survivors are on not only temporary HP, but low temporary HP. So they do manage to find one more set of pain pills. They're probably not going to find any more other than that. Nick has consumed them, and he will be granted extra movement speed. They do pop the propane canister right in their faces there, actually. A little bit unfortunate. Smoker, Hunter, Spitter, and a Charger. So they have a tri-cap, and as you can see here, guys, the downpour makes this map even more unforgiving. Hard Rain is kind of an unforgiving map to begin with, and then you have the added length of the downpour. It's just very unforgiving here. We have a Hunter spawned up. He may be going for a wall kick. There is a Smoker trying to separate Ellis there, but Ellis is aware of this, and he moves back and cuts the tongue. They're still keeping a hold of these 2 medkits, which is very impressive, actually. Everybody's from inside the house. They're trying to get that separation onto Ellis, but he melees the Smoker. There's a charge onto Nick here. He's probably going to be going down here. He does go down. So, you know, they're getting closer and closer to needing to use a medkit. They still have to travel a little way before they make it to the safe room.
Yeah, shouldn't Nick be black and white now? Has he not been down twice?
He's been down once, so one more and he will be black and white. Nonetheless, you know, they are keeping a hold of these medkits for a very long time, actually, which, you know, is there's an in-cap there onto Rochelle, as well as a Hunter onto Nick. So 1 in-cap so far. Nick has been pulled by the Smoker. They need to free him quickly. They do manage to do so. He's going to try and go and delay that. He does delay the get-up and manages to in-cap Nick. That's what we were talking about. That's a black and white on Nick there.
Yeah, very sneaky and cheeky Smoker.
Sneaky and cheeky, I like that. We have a Spitter and a Boomer so far. The another spawn is going to be a Charger. Boomer goes in already, gets a boom onto Nick. He has used his medkit very, very wisely there because he was black and white, and if you go down after being black and white, you are dead. And there's no reviving you. Defibrillators do exist in this game, but they do not exist in configs, including T1. Hunter and a Charger so far. The other 2 spawns will be up in 6 seconds at least. There's a Hunter spawned up already, just causing a bit of a nuisance with the noise he's making. We have a Hunter, Charger, Smoker, and a Boomer. Survivors are going to make their way into the house here. Hunter's still making some noise. He's slowing them down a little bit. There's a Charger rocketing in, trying to get some scratches. He's unable to do so. There's a separated victim here who's boomed, but they managed to renaissance with him, or whatever the word is. I'm forgetting the word. Rendezvous. That's the word. Rendezvous. All spawns are going to be down for at least 9 seconds here, and they should be able to make it into the safe room, providing, of course, Rochelle does not go down. But she will be the first person to enter the safe room, so she will be safe. Spawn's going to be a Spitter. Not able to make any use of it, though, so they will be making it into the safe room with 100 bonus points. Honestly, very well played to actually survive that, considering how badly it went for them in some cases, I would say, Joker.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, the tank fight didn't look very well for them, but they managed to pull through with a lot of health still.
Yeah, it was quite impressive because as we saw in that tank fight, they actually got 4 people boomed in total, and 1 person was in cap before the spawns went in. So they played it very well on the infected side, but they played it even better on the set. In the meantime, I'm just going to set the tank, which will be in. So this tank is going to be a Kaiser tank. And
who is the mentors of this team? I think Saros is one of them, right?
Yes, Zaros. Tim, no. Yeah, Zaros is quite a good player, actually, but he is not the mentor. It would be Tim.
Oh, Toff.
And Toff, obviously, you probably remember Toff, to be honest. He's been in a few frag videos of, for example, Kekery in Left 4 Dead 1, so he's a bit of an old school player. Excited to see him.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, he's been around for a while. So Survivors are going to be moving forward here. There's a Boomer rocketing in, manages to connect with 1 Survivor. Hunter moving in as well. Is dead stopped and killed though. Spit moves in, but obviously without the Hunter they can't make much happen. The Smoker's going to go in to get some scratches. Can't make much happen either. The Spitter gets some scratches, but they do manage to actually make it with some decent health here. Probably going to be looking to go and trigger the tank and play it in the same kind of area inside that little room there. Tank will be spawning, and as I say, is going to be a Kaiser tank. Maybe looking to move the car in, but obviously in that room it's it's possible to get the car in, but as you can see, there's many ways you can actually dodge the car, so may not be looking to do that. Boomer, Jockey, and a Smoker are going to be the spawns here. Smoker's going to be moving in already. He's shut down before anything can happen. I have a feeling they were getting rid of the Smoker on purpose there because they're not happy with having a Smoker in this room.
I think they're sacking for a Hunter right now.
Yeah, potentially. I'd say a Hunter would be a lot better than a Smoker here. There's just not really much you can do with a Smoker, to be honest. There's not many ways to separate the survivors. Unless, of course, you get the Smoker into the doorway with a car, but, you know, with good survivor awareness, it isn't likely. They are shooting through the... Boomer tries to connect some booms there, but he's unable to do so. He will be going down, and the tank in the hands of Kaiser is on 70% on pass number 2. It's looking like it may have to go in here just simply with the next spawn, which may not be a Boomer. It's very unlikely. He does actually connect the rock with the Jockey there, so the Jockey has low HP already. He's going to be looking to try and connect the first punch. He misses his first punch there. He's going to go for Rochelle in the corner there. Jockey already dead because of the low HP from the rock connection. He's going to be shut down immediately. Rochelle is incapped by the tank. Charger is getting a few scratches. Final punch connected by the tank there, but they dealt with that much better, really, I would say, on the survivor side.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a bit of miscommunications there from the infected.
Survivors are going to be moving their way forward here over the ramp. So far, there's a Boomer, Smoker, and a Hunter. Final spawn in 4 seconds, which will be up now. They're going to be attacking around this ladder area. There's a Boomer spawned up above. I have a feeling he was looking for a rocket there, but unable to connect with it. Hunter's going to be pouncing in, skeeted nicely by the survivor. Spitter's moving in as well as Smoker. They're both shut down. Not very much can happen there. Survivors are going to jump over the caravan, and they're just going to be moving forward swiftly as a result of, unfortunately, of the Boomer not quite connecting as he wanted to. So far, they have a Jockey, but the spawns will be down for at least 8 seconds if they want to have a 4 attack. Survivors are going to be making their way to the caravan here. They have a Smoker, Charger, and a Jockey completed with a Boomer, so a fairly good setup. Not really the greatest setup for an open attack, mind you. Unless, of course, the Boomer can land, so we have to see how they play the... They do have all 4 of their medkits so far, so they're looking very healthy. Deadeye, aka Rochelle, is on temporary HP, but is quite hot. Boomer is unable to make a connection from the tree there, and again, that's another a recurring theme, I think, with Team Baguettes and Wine. They unfortunately can't land these Boomers first. They do have this witch to deal with behind the ambulance. They're going to look to attack with her. They're going to get the remote crown very easily on Ellis. Ellis is able to secure that remote crown. Jockey's pouncing around on the ambulance. Charger is shut down mid-flight, or mid-path, I should say. Everybody is shut down, and they will be progressing forward. Pills are going to be given to Rochelle, their only temporary HP. Temporary HP guy there. The Boomer does go in and lands onto 1 survivor, but of course the spawns will be down for at least 7 seconds, so they won't be able to capitalize on it too well.
No, it didn't really seem like they were ready for that witch fight, really.
No, I don't think they were, unfortunately. Spitter, Hunter, and a Smoker will be the spawns, completed with a Jockey. No Charger and no Boomer for this attack. Most of the spawns will be on the roof here as the survivors are making their way forward onto those very neat little stone concrete blocks. Going to be making their way into the house here. They do have a Spitter to be careful of. They do have to be aware of that. There is a Hunter pre-spawned up. He's going to be trying to wall kick. He's unable to wall kick as a result of the door. Smoker from behind is shut down very... Spitter's going to spit into the door, into the doorway there, but unfortunately can't create any delay. All spawns will be cleared very easily, and they're going to move their way very swiftly forward. Going to be seeing 2 spawns up now. Going to have a Boomer and a Charger. The other spawns will be up relatively soon. There'll be a Smoker and a Jockey. They have a Tri-Cap and they have a Boomer. With that Tri-Cap, we're going to have to see how they play it. This is their final attack. They have to play this phenomenally well if they want to deplete some medkits. The Boomer's already going to be shut down from behind. Deadeye is going to be charged into the distance, but will actually not be cleared before a pummel. But unfortunately, they did go for the temporary HP guy, and he is able to just probably take some pills or even just save them if he wants. Doesn't really matter. All spawns will be down for at least 4 seconds, and they should have enough time to make it into the safe room with all 4 medkits. So Team Very Annoying Children having a slightly more dominant performance here on Survivors. So we will be seeing a scoreline of 920 on Very Annoying Children versus 700 on Baguettes and Wine. We do have to keep in mind that that's only 220 points. As much as it was slightly more dominant on the side of Very Annoying Children, you do have to remember that 220 is not a big difference whatsoever. Going to be moving on to map 2 here, and as you can see, guys, there's a slight difference in the well, I say slight difference, but there's really much more than a slight difference. There's a major difference really in the map design, which makes this map a lot more difficult for the survivors, which is something I really enjoy about custom maps in general.
Oh yes.
In the meantime, I shall assign the tank on Baguettes and Wine, which is going to be in the hands of Jays. There we go. So, I'm going to try not to spoil too much here, but basically in the previous game that I casted, which was a very exciting game, Jays had an unfortunate performance on one tank, but then managed to redeem himself later on. He will have 2 chances at the tank here. He's going to be playing this map's tank as well as the next chapter tank. He's going to be playing 2 in a row. So we'll have to see how he performs, knowing that he's going to be playing 2 of the tanks, and tanks are very crucial in Left 4 Dead 2. Anyway, we are going to be seeing a Boomer, Smoker, Charger, and a Jockey, so we're going to see a Tri-Cap minus the Spitter. They probably were hoping for a Spitter, really, in this kind of closed area. Nonetheless, there is the Charger and a Jockey positioned on the roof above the safe room. There's a Boomer behind the truck as they exit the safe room, and the survivors will be having to move to the right. They do not have any other option. Smokers from inside the house going to be trying to get separation. Everybody's piling onto the same target here. There's decent damage onto Coach. They do manage to clear these spawns very quickly, though. It looked very good, actually. It was very well coordinated, but unfortunately, Very Annoying Children are just very good at clearing.
Yeah, but still, it was some damage. He could have been worse.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it adds up. Every little helps. So far, we're going to have one spawn, which will be a Hunter. All the other spawns will be up pretty much at the same time. So we'll have a Smoker, Jockey, Boomer, and a Hunter. So it's going to be a Tri-Cap minus the Charger. And there's one guy separated in the back here. They might be looking to capitalize. Boomer from above. There's a Hunter pouncing in the temporary dual cap in the back, and then the Hunter tries to complete it. Some significant damage actually going on to Coach there, which is really what they're going to be looking for. It's good damage onto Coach.
Yeah, sadly the Boomer didn't connect very well.
The thing I'm noticing here actually is that Baguettes and Wine seem to be, I want to say, waking up. Their performance on Infected is a lot better now. They are doing a lot more damage and they're being a lot more coordinated. Boomer from above is going to drop down and successfully land onto Nick there. Charger from above, but he's too far away to get close to anybody. There's a Jockey onto Nick, the Boom's victim. As you can see here, actually, Joker, they are piling in some good damage onto Nick and Coach, which is what we want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought we agreed on that. But still, there's it's a long way to go. And I'm really curious to see about what's going to happen with this witch. Because she is in a tricky position with a lot of spawn spots around.
Yeah, indeed. Obviously, with the map design, even more spawn spots than they would if it was standard hard rain. Charger, Boomer, Jockey, and a Smoker will be the setup for the witch attack. They're not going to attack before this witch. They are absolutely going to be attacking with this witch. We have 2 spawns in the back on the generators above the survivors. On either side of them here. We also have a Charger positioned in front and a Jockey up. They have triggered the witch and they're going to be moving back into the open area, so Witch is moving in, and they do remote crown her successfully, so unfortunately the Infected didn't really know what to do there. They're just going to attack without the Witch and just go on the ramp instead. 3 from behind, 1 from in front. Boomer from above is unable to connect with anybody, and there's a smoker already spawned up. He's going to have to drop down here. We're going to have to see what they do. I think the smoker may be looking to respawn. A little bit of miscommunication, I think, on the side of Baguettes and Wine, which is unfortunate for them.
I don't think it was miscommunication. I think they didn't think it was worth using their whole attack on that witch when they were running back for her. They would all have just got down and they would have passed there for free.
I agree with that. I just think the Boomer was perhaps a little bit of miscommunication. There's a smoker spawned up on the he is unable to make a connection. Jockey temporarily landing. There is a charger moving in. Will be shut down after one scratch. The damage, honestly, considering how well it looks like the survivors are doing, they are taking a lot of damage. Nick and Coach have taken some significant damage here. Spitter's going to be getting rid of that spawn. And you know, they haven't killed the spawn yet. They will be, yeah, they'll be killing the Spitter there. So far they have a Hunter. Survivors are going to be moving into. This is, by the way, guys, this is not in the standard hard rain. That little room there is not in the standard hard rain. Tank is going to be just on above ground floor. Just be going to be throwing some rocks. There's so far a Hunter and a Charger. Final spawn in 3 seconds, which will be Jockey. No Boomer. Just a tri-cap, Jockey, Hunter, and a Charger. As I say, Tank is in the hands of Jays. He's just still throwing some rocks, still on 100% HP, still on 100% of his first pass. They might be looking to just long tank this. There's a Hunter moving in, all from different locations here. They do manage to shut down the rocks, though. There's a Charger in the room. Unfortunately, he gets a no Steam log on, so we're going to have to see a pause here, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, Toff's Charger there was completely frozen and wasn't able to make anything happen due to disconnecting. Nonetheless, there's a lot of damage. As I say, even Rochelle now, even Rochelle has been taking a lot of damage as well. Rochelle on just about half HP. Coach is a little bit below our half HP. Nick is around that kind of region. So they all have pain pills, mind you, so they do need to be careful of that. All the damage is adding up, but because of how many pain pills they have, it's not going to be meaning too much. So they're going to be looking for a very good tank fight here. Looking like they are going to play long, as I say, especially considering the tank is still on his first pass. Got a random message from Tim there, 50 out of 140, whatever that means. Yeah, and Jay's tank just hoisting the rock, as he says. Yeah, I mean, you can see that pause. See him during the pause there. You can see that tank just holding that rock, just demonstrating his strength there. Very nice strength. But as we're unpausing, he will be throwing this rock at long last. The survivors will be making their way inside to block line of sight, which will gradually decrease the frustration of the tank. 75%, and he's still ticking down. The spawns will be down for at least 6 seconds. He may even lose his first pass here due to the spawn timers. He manages to secure line of sight actually on 60%, so he's going to continue to throw rocks. Still in a fairly good position here. They just need to make sure that they can keep the damage coming in. Smoker from the lorries will be shut down before much can happen. Charger collides with the lorry instead of the survivors. Jockey will get some damage. A scratch lands onto... Oh, 3 scratches landing onto Rochelle there. That was very well played by the infected side, actually, of Baguettes and Wine. Very well done by them to keep this damage coming in. As I was saying, all of the survivors now are at, well, their highest HP guy is 63 HP, but that's only because he took pain pills. That's not for any other reason. In terms of permanent HP, their highest guy is actually going to be Deadeye on 54 HP, a little bit above half. So good damage from Baguettes and Wine so far. Spawns have been moving in. Hunter is dead, stopped and killed. Jockey lands onto Ellis temporarily. That rock barely missed, actually, because nobody was watching it.
Oh.
Unfortunately, now Kaiser has got a no Steam log on, so Toff was the first guy to have a no Steam log on, and unfortunately, there's a new, aka Kaiser, who will be having a no Steam log on now. So this is the second pause of the game. We are currently on Chapter 2. So as you can see, by pressing tab, there is a lot of damage on the board, and I'm excited about this really, because this is what they need. Looks like everybody's blaming Kekery here. Poor Kekery. He's just good guy Kekery. We'll be going live in 2 seconds, so this will conclude the. Oh god, everybody's being so aggressive towards Kekiri. Rocks will be moving in here. He hasn't actually landed a rock so far, unfortunately, for him. The special infected are doing a good job with the damage, but the tank has been unable to connect a rock, which is partly due to the survivors being very aware of the rocks and avoiding them as well as shooting them mid-air. Tank is still on actually his first pass on 10%. And he's maintaining line of sight very well here, only taking 200 damage approximately so far. Jockey from the roof will be pouncing in now, causing distraction. They're aware of the rocks though. Charger connects and gets a stumble, which is good interception here. Very, very nice damage. Can the rock land here? Actually, unfortunately, he is not able to land. The smoker is still going though. Very, very handsome damage here being inflicted.
That was a brilliant attack.
Absolutely phenomenal. That charger got a stumble and interception on the smoker. They had an incapacitation out of that. They have depleted a medkit. I can't tell you how good that attack was. Very well played by them. Yeah, potentially. Although they do have 2 sets of pain pills. Yeah, you were right. They have used 2 medkits. That's not looking good for them really, especially considering how good that charger was. Getting 2 people. Boomer, Charger, and a Hunter here. If this Boomer can land, that could be what they need. Unfortunately, though, the tank hasn't made much happen. It's all been the special infected so far. The Boomer is unable to land. Charger tries to get a connection here. Sorry, that wasn't the Boomer. The Boomer does land, getting a boom onto Nick there. But as we are noticing, that rock was so close to hitting Nick. He was very lucky not to be colliding with that. Tank on 70% of pass number 2, and that's going to be ticking down now. No rocks and no punches have been landed so far, so not looking good for the tank, looking very good for the special infected though. 40% of pass number 2. He hasn't taken much damage, but he may have to consider a change of tactic. That is exactly what he's doing. He's moving into the open area, trying to chase down the Hunter, Jockey, and the Smoker. He lands 1 punch actually onto Ellis. Very nice punch. Hunter is already shut down though. Smoker's going to try to get some separation. This could be an in-cap. It is an in-cap onto Ellis here. Temporary dual cap as well. There is a dual cap onto Nick. He's going to be taking into the distance. They do manage to clear the Smoker though. They're going to be clearing that Jockey shortly after. So, very well coordinated attacks. The tank is going to try and get some curve rocks out of the corner there. Misses a punch onto Nick in the doorway, unfortunately, and the bullets are just raining in on him. Tries to get a final closure punch, unable to do so. The tank, unfortunately, didn't do too well, but the special infected support was phenomenal.
Over there. Nope. Ammo up here.
Yeah, we've just got a little thing from Kekiri here. He's long story short, Kekiri's not happy with the flak he's getting, and I don't blame him actually. I'm not gonna lie. There's a Hunter, Charger, Boomer, which we just saw there, just connecting with Ellis, and a Spitter. So Hunter, Charger, and a Spitter to potentially go with this Boomer. They're probably not going to be looking to do that though, because as you can see here, guys, there's a lot of chances for death charges, or even just in-cap charges if they're charged backwards, but forwards it could even be a death charge, considering how long it would take. The Charger's going to be moving in, unable to connect with anybody. He will be going down. The Spit does not connect. There is a Hunter temporarily landing, but he will be cleared quite quickly. Tim, aka Ellis, is on very low HP and they have no pain pills, so he's probably going to have to be healing here. There is a nice separation jockey in the back there onto Rochelle, securing some good damage onto her, so they're making the damage happen, which is, good to see.
Yeah, that's the third medkit gone.
Exactly, and could even be the 4th medkit, because as you can see, Rochelle is not in good health. She may have to use that final medkit. Smoker, Spitter, Boomer, and final spawn in 4 seconds is going to be a Hunter. So they do have a 2-2, a Smoker Hunter with a Spitter and a Boomer. Won't be attacking yet. They're probably going to be looking to get rid of that final medkit before they make anything else happen. They're just going to be waiting for this kind of metal frame to be opening. Hunter is spawned up, looking to be going in now. There's Hunter moving in, connects with Ellis, and that's going to allow the Boomer to land on the 2 people. Separation Smoker attempt is denied by Nick, who gets around the corner there. So the best thing about that attack really was the Hunter-Boomer coordination. The other spawns couldn't make much happen. Survivors will be making their way down the staircase here.
I like how they still have the elevator next to the stairs.
Yeah, that's a nice little detail, I suppose. So there is Rochelle who is on 8 HP. That's one charger scratch, and she'll be going. Charger is spawned in the bushes here. Everybody's all spawned up now, looking to be going in a coordinated fashion. Charger's moving in. They haven't made much happen yet, but the charger is precarious. He's going to be connecting with 2 survivors. Could be a tri-cap. It is a tri-cap, ladies and gentlemen. And the final remaining survivor is actually in cap, so this could be it for them. Unless Rochelle can clear coach there, but it might not be able to. As you can see, guys, very, very well played tri-cap by Baguettes and Wine. We have a game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. Only 25 bonus points from the Witch. They could not make it to the safe room. Very nice charger again, actually. What did we say?
Yeah, that charger did that basically.
Yeah, it seems like Baguettes and Wine are very strong with the charger. They're making the charger work very, very well and getting at least 2 people in the collision. So very well played by them. In the meantime, I'm just going to assign the tank. This is going to be a laughter tank.
Yeah, if Rochelle wasn't greedy with her medkit there and healed up, she would have not gotten in cap by that stumble.
Yeah, it's a point worth mentioning. Really, they were very valiant, I have to say, and I do respect them for trying to keep that medkit. But I think that could have been a reason they died, considering she was very close to being in-capped, and if she had maybe a bit more HP, they could have maybe survived the cane fill. But nonetheless, you can't discredit the infected side of Baguettes and Wine. They did very, very well there to wipe them. Now it is the chance of Baguettes and Wine to actually potentially even not only narrow the scoreline, but maybe even take the scoreline back into their hands. Ready up, Joker?
Oh, oops.
Live in 2 seconds. So we are going to see a Jockey, Charger, Smoker, and a Boomer for this initial attack. Same as last time, as always. There will not be a spitter, so they're going to have to work with the Boomer here. We'll have to see what they managed to pull off, because previously there was a Hunter and a Charger combination, which allowed some damage to happen, but they cleared very well. Very annoying children, so we will have to see what happens here. We're going to see, I believe it's 3 Uzis actually. We're going to see 3 Uzis and 1 shotgun, and by no surprise, the shotgun player is going to be Toph, who obviously has experience in Left 4 Dead 1, so shotguns are not exactly unfamiliar to him.
He's also the melee player right now. Only one.
Yeah, he seems to be taking priority on the important things, I would say, on the melee weapon and shotgun's not that important. Boomer's going to be shut down mid-air there, very nicely done, but here's the Charger Smoker combination we were talking about. They actually managed to pull that off a lot better. All spawns will be shut down, but as you can see, Coach there took 42 damage. Very, very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, but he found some pills, so he's happy.
Yeah, I mean, I say sort of happy, sort of not really. That's a lot of damage to be taking there. He's not going to be happy with it, but at least he has pain pills in case he takes any more. There's a Charger, Boomer, Jockey, and a Hunter, so no Smoker and no Spitter. I'm absolutely loving this map design here. There's a Boomer from above. Shut down very nicely again. Hunter going for Coach there by the lockers. The Hunter will be shut down. Separation Jockey in the back there. Charger does successfully connect with Nick. Not very much going to happen off of that though, so they are maintaining their health a little bit better than the first attack, with most of the damage still being onto Coach. Survivors are going to be progressing forward here into this little mobile unit. There is a silenced SMG and a pump shotgun to replenish ammo with. So far there's a Smoker, Boomer, Spitter, and a Hunter, so they have a 2-2. Most of the spawns will be on the roof above the survivors. There is a Hunter in the back here, just sneaking behind them. Have to see what happens. There is the Boomer precariously waiting, probably going to be looking to pounce through the glass. They shut him down before he can even get through the glass there. Very nicely done. Separation Smoker in the back there. Spitter tries to exaggerate the separation, but is unable to do so because he was cleared very well. They only have a Spitter remaining on 80 HP on the roof, and that Spitter's just going to be looking to respawn and regroup with the team. The survivors have to be aware, actually, there is a Witch down the ramp, so obviously it is a very open area here, so they'll have to see how they play it. The advantage is slightly in favor of the survivors, I would say, for this witch attack, considering she has to climb, has to go over a few things, and has to come into an open area. Boomer, Jockey, Charger, and a Spitter will be the setup they will have to use for the witch attack, which is going to be spawned up. Obviously, they only have. Actually, do you know what, guys? They don't have a shotgun. They only have SMG. So, or unless I'm wrong, but from what I can see,
No, you're right. That's 4 Uzis.
yeah, that is that could be to their misfortune, really. The infected will be attacked. Charger's going to be mowed down by those SMGs. Spitter's going to be spitting onto the ramp. A nice quad boom, actually. That quad boom could be what they need. That Witch is going to be successfully incapacitating Ellis there. And that's unfortunately what happens when you don't have a shotgun with a Witch and you have boom survivors, especially 4 boom survivors at that. So, well played by the infected.
Really good.
Yeah, he picks the absolute...
getting a lot of praise in their Mumble Discord or whatever they're using right now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that was a very well-timed boomer, and that is pretty much why they managed to secure the incap, because the Witch wasn't really that high. Hunter respawned up behind with a Smoker, Spitter, and a Charger. Hunter's pouncing. Unfortunately, the Hunter, while he was crouching, as you crouch, you do have to wait before you can pounce. That allowed him to be crushed there. Charger's moving in, unable to connect with anybody, which means the Spit won't be doing too much damage. Spit is going to move in for some scratches as well as the Smoker. Not a lot happening, but as you can see, they're not on the best HP. They do have pain pills to work with. They are going to be breaking line of sight immediately, which is probably what very annoying children should have done before. Just perhaps a lot sooner, because Tank is going to be ticking down on that frustration. Only on 90% though, actually. He's keeping it. 80% now, just going to be progressively ticking down. Survivors are going to be in the open area. They have 3 sets of pain pills to work with. Hunter's pouncing around as well as Jockey. Jockey landing onto Rochelle. Nice dual cap and a rock landing because they weren't aware of it. Charger getting some scratches as well, so they're getting a lot of damage happening here. That rock just barely misses Coach, as you probably saw. So they landed a rock, and they landed some scratches, and they landed the dual cap. They landed a lot there. Survivors are not going to be happy with that.
Yeah, they're being greedy with the pills here, but I think they just used a medkit though.
Yeah, they used 1 medkit. They may look to use another on Coach.
They have 3 sets of pills though. So I understand why they don't want to use their medkits just yet.
Jockey and Smoker from the lorries here. Boomer's going to land as well as a rock again. They're not aware of these rocks, unfortunately. They're a bit too tunnel visioned on the special infected. They are aware of that one, and we'll be shutting that one down. Nonetheless, that is another successful rock. So that's 2 rocks. So 2 attacks and 2 rocks. The tank is on 70% of his first pass, and because he's landing rocks, he's replenishing it every time he lands one. Tank is now on 50% and will be gradually declining. He may actually lose his first pass if the survivors stay in the room here. 20%, 15%, he won't lose it. He will be able to maintain line of sight. So we have a Jockey, Smoker, and a Charger all moving in from different directions here. Smoker's going to be pulling Coach there, as well as a connection by the Charger. The tank is throwing a rock. Need to be very aware of that. They are aware of it, and they do shut it down. So that's a slight improvement there by being aware of the rock and shutting it down before it makes a connection.
Yeah, that was very well done. He would have refreshed his entire rage bar from 15 to 100%.
Absolutely. Well, as a result of shutting down that rock, the tank is now on pass number 2 on 50%. He has no choice but to move in here, which is exactly what he's going to be doing. This is Laughter Tank moving in. Coach, unfortunately, comes out at the wrong time there. He takes 2 punches to the face, and he's going to potentially take another one. He will be in caps at the generator. There's a Jockey on the lorry. Hunter pouncing around. He's a lot of distraction happening. Rochelle is going to be in cap there. There's a charged victim, as well as a Hunter. Hunter is killed by the tank, I believe, there. Coach is trying to, Ellis is getting some nice jukes on the tank here. He could actually manage to kill the tank with the jukes he's pulling here. Very nicely done by Toff. This is a showdown between the tank. Unfortunately for him, though, Nick is actually still up as well. But as you can see there, guys, Toff showing some very good, very, very good juking skills there.
Yeah, he really saved this round now from them.
Yeah, I mean, providing, of course, they can revive. There's a spitter, boomer, and a smoker. Spitter's going to spit onto the survivor and the generator. There's a separation smoker onto Ellis. Will be cleared. There is a boomer on the kind of above the survivors there. 3 survivors are boomed. Jockey is going to be the final spawn here. The other spawns won't be up for at least 13. Jockey is on the roof above the survivors. Going to be moving in onto Ellis there, but is shut down by Toff. Boomer's going to move in and try to delay. He does actually successfully delay and get a proxy.
He refreshed the horde as well.
Absolutely, yeah, because he took a katana to the face. There's going to be a spitter moving in onto Rochelle. She could even be dying here, actually, and Nick is in the spit and will be going down as well. They're going to need to revive Rochelle. They are unable to do so, so unfortunately for them, they have lost a survivor. There's a charger above them who may be looking to go in. He is going in, gets an in-cap onto Ellis and will be charging straight away, but is unable to make the final connection. Jockey moves in onto Coach, but is dead stopped and killed. They're going to be looking for the revival here. Unable to get it onto Ellis because the charger manages to get a scratch in time. Unfortunately, they have a boomer as well. Boomer's going to rocket in here. Going to be landing onto all 3 survivors, so that it's not looking good for them. They still have to revive Nick if they want to move any further forward. There's going to be a heal successfully onto Ellis. Very nicely done there to get that heal. He has a golf club though, so he won't be able to cut that tongue if the smoker goes for him. Hunter's going to be moving in probably with the smoker to try and get the dual cap here, or even just delay them from getting Nick up. Nick is going to be dying here, so there's two remaining survivors in the hands of Baguettes and Wine. Unfortunately for them, there's going to be a common infected incapacitating Coach there, and they do have a smoker as well. Jockey from the room, he has too many infected to keep a hold of here. Hunter's going to be landing onto Coach. He is actually right next to Cole, very nicely duked on the smoker tongue there. Look at the performance of Ellis, aka Toff here. This is phenomenal. Like, I have to say, like, Toff, aka Ellis, is playing very, very well here. So far they have a boomer. Survivors, as you can see, guys, only have 2 survivors. They managed to shut down the boomer with dead stops there. Nico and Toff are going to be the remaining Baguettes and Wine survivors. They're going to be moving their way up here. They're going to have to deal with a jockey, charger, and a spitter. So not a tri-cap, just a dual cap. Coach is going to be trailing behind Ellis here. So, you know, they're doing very good so far to make it this far with 2 survivors. Jockey, spitter, and a charger as is still going to be the setup. Final spawn in 1 second, which will be a smoker. Very deadly setup, actually, especially considering they have 2 survivors. Charger spawned up. Separation smoker onto Coach there. Jockey is going to be dead stop, and he's going to be killed as well as the charger, potentially. He's going to try and clear that smoker. He does clear the smoker, but unfortunately Coach will go down regardless. Charger's going to be waiting around the corner with 100 HP, shooting through the wall there. He actually makes the connection, but he was low enough HP for the in-cap survivor to clear him. No spawns remaining for at least 5 seconds, so there will be a successful revival onto Coach, aka Nico, and Toff is going to make the smart decision to heal him as well.
Yeah, this is really intense round here. I hope that we can see this 2v4 go on for a long time.
I'm hoping so, because especially Toff showing very nicely a very nice performance on the survivor side here, managing to juke that tank about what 3 or 4 times. Very well played by him. Boomer, Hunter, Spitter, and a Smoker are moving in. Hunter's going to be very low and will be shut down immediately. Very nicely done by the Uzis. They're going to shut down the Boomer before it lands onto both. Only 1 survivor boom. Spitter's going to be moving in as well as a Smoker. They're all shut down. So, yeah, I mean, you could argue that's slightly unfortunate. They had a 2-2 rather than the tri-cap, but nonetheless, you know, there's only 2 survivors remaining and they're still surviving. You know, living up to the name of what they are, survivors. They are surviving. They're going to be looking to crouch under this metal framework here. They're going to be moving forward as quick as they can. Charger and a Smoker up so far, accompanied with a Hunter. Very devastating setup. The Charger's moving in, does not make a connection. Boomer from above is going to boom onto 2 survivors. There's a Smoker onto Ellis. Unfortunately, that is stolen. They're taking so much damage that they might not be able to make it here. Double stumble onto them. They're going to be swinging their melee weapons here. The Charger is dead. They could actually make it further forward here, actually. They're doing very well to make it with this, you know. I'm really hoping to see them actually make it to the safe room. I'm not going to lie to you, Joker. This is looking very good.
Yeah, this is really intense here.
Yeah, very,
if they
very
make
well
it through the game field, wow.
They could. I mean, there is a Smoker and a Jockey, though, accompanied with a Boomer and a Spitter. They need to be careful of Yeah, he needs to be careful of this. He's going to be separated. He won't be able to kill that Smoker by himself. Jockey's going to be trying to land onto Coach in the cane field here. Coach is just aimlessly shooting in the cane field. He doesn't know where the hell that jockey is. He's going to be boomed. He dead stops the jockey. Tries to get over the van, but is unable to do so. Unfortunately, Toff, aka Ellis, was a little bit separated there. I have to say, he should really have stayed with Coach because it could have made it. Could really have made that.
Yeah, it's a shame to see something like this come to such a slip up, but still a very valiant effort. Still,
absolutely valiant is the precise word I'm thinking of. So, 300 points, give or take, is going to be the difference between these two. Courtesy of, I would say, the MVP Toff there, you know, with the Dukes on the tank, securing them the ability to kill the tank and all sorts. So, I'm going to be assigning the tank here, which is going to be, as I say, another Jays. Unfortunately for Jays, his tank didn't do too well. The infected, as I say, the special infected support was phenomenal. But the tank, not so much. It didn't really make a heck of a lot happen. So, yeah, we're going to have to see what happens here. This map has the added annoyance of storms. As you get into map 3 and 4, or chapter 3 and 4, I should say, hard rain, you know, added with the fact that it's downpour, so there's added stuff. There are storms which obscure your vision, and, you know, as you can imagine, if you have a storm in front of you as well as a boom, that's... you know, you're going to struggle. You really are going to struggle. And even without the boom, you're going to struggle with the storms. So, going to have to see how this is played. We do have a Charger, Hunter, Boomer, and a Smoker. We're going to have to see whether they attack early or later. We'll have to see. They don't have a Spitter. And obviously, without a Spitter, it makes an indoor attack slightly less ideal. Spitter is absolutely the most ideal spawn to be using on an indoor attack. By the way the special infected are positioned, though, they may actually be looking to attack early on before the Canefield area, really. Although I am mistaken, there is no Canefield. We are ready to go. As I say, another Jays tank. There'll be a Hunter, Boomer, Smoker, and a Charger. Most of which are going to be spawning above the survivors here on the kind of gas petrol station. There's not really much variance in the location they're spawning from, although you can't really blame them. There's not many places. Survivors being very patient. They're all going to move out in unison. There's a Hunter pouncing around. Boomer gets a successful rocket boom onto 2. Charger tries to connect, but is unable to do so. There's a Hunter, 1 damage pounce Hunter there, landing onto Nick, as well as the Smoker to follow up. Charger tries to get a scratch, gets 1 scratch onto Ellis. Some damage has been spread out onto the survivors, but not really anything to rave about. Nothing too significant. They have a bit of stagger in their spawn timers as well. There will be 11 seconds to wait if they want to have a quad attack. So far, there's a Boomer and a Spitter. Final spawn in 3 seconds. The final 2 spawns will... Hunter and a Charger. So, I have to see how they play this. As you can see, guys, there's a lot more added choke points. Disregarding the Canefield and adding a lot more. Boomer's going to be just pouncing down there, landing onto 2 survivors again. Hunter's pouncing around the roof. Charger tries to get a connection, unable to do so. The Spit will have to spit onto the Hunter victim instead, but that's still going to be a lot of damage onto him, as well as some decent damage onto Coach there, so some good damage separation. There's a separation Hunter victim in the little house there, so they took a lot of damage here. They need to be a bit more... they need to be a bit more coordinated, really, I would say, if they, you know... As we are seeing here, there's a Jays tank. He's going to be moving his way forward. This is his chance at redemption from the previous round. Survivors are going to move back. They're going to be making their way through the gate there, and they're going to be taking it near the kind of petrol station area, which, to be honest, you know, it is a dangerous area, especially considering the infected have free roam to spawn on top of the survivors in all different locations. Especially with the Boomer, they have to be careful of this. They'd actually have a Charger, Boomer, and a Smoker. So with that Boomer, it could be devastating. Tank is positioned on the roof in front. He's going to be throwing some rocks here on 45% of pass number 1. He's just trying to keep line of sight. No, nothing happening so far. Everybody's being very patient. Both the survivors and the infected are showing signs of patience here. Rock barely misses there, but there's a boom onto 2 survivors again. Successful connection from the charger, although only 10 damage going to be happening. Smoker's trying to get some scratches there. They have 1 set of pain pills on the survivor side. They're going to be moving back into the safe room to replenish their ammo. They need to be careful of the rocks on their way out, though, especially considering their boons. So they will be actually hiding in the room to try and deplete the frustration of the tank. They have successfully depleted the first frustration pass, which is, is on pass number 2. Will be moving in here, going to be looking to get that car in their faces. He's trying to angle it. Just Coach was very precariously positioned. He's going to get a successful in-cap onto Coach here. This is what they need. They have a boomer onto 2 survivors. Tank is going to be looking to try and secure the kill potentially. Car is not in a good position here. He misses the punch, and there's a boomer very close to the tank. Gets the punch onto Nick there, and he's going to be moving in with the spawns. Actually, there's a hunter and a jockey pouncing around. Tank on 2,700 HP. They need to be very careful here. Spawns are going to be moving in for some stumbles here. Tank gets a punch. There might be a dual cap, and dual cap is unsuccessful though. There's a hunter still pouncing around. He gets a punch onto Ellis. Some punches onto Rochelle. Tries to get a constellation punch onto Ellis, unable to do so. Trying to get the in cap, unable to do so again. That looks very good for them, but unfortunately they couldn't secure anything, really. That's so unfortunate. That looked very good. Nonetheless, it still went well for them. Lots of damage. I have to see how what happens here. There's currently Rochelle and Coach in need of pain pills, but they don't have. They may be looking to use their medkits here. So far, there's a smoker, charger, spitter. Final spawn is a jock. So quite a devastating setup. Very unfortunate for the tank, but he still managed to make some stuff happen. Charger moves in inside there, gets some scratches onto Ellis. He's not able to clear this charger, so he's going to take some damage as well. Some very, very good damage happening. When you actually consider how much damage they're taking here, they may actually have to use all of their medkits. Which they have used 2 medkits so far, and they only have 2 remaining. And 2 people are actually, one needs to use it, and 1 is very close to using it, so they have to make sure they can find some pain pills to secure, to make sure they don't actually have to use any medkits, because those medkits give bonus points. They need to secure them. Boomer, Smoker, Hunter, and a Jockey, so they don't have a Charger and they don't have a Spitter for this particular tri-cap. Just going to be making their way into this kind of warehouse area here. There's a Boomer in front. They're going to be making their way up the spiraling staircase into the office. This office actually kind of reminds me of Dead Air. Boomer is unable to make a connection with the rocket there. All spawns from in front here. There's going to be separation onto Ellis and some interception happening. Hunter is unable to make any further interception happen though. Nonetheless, some good damage onto Rochelle. She was close to being in-capped, so you're gonna have to be careful of what kind of shape Rochelle is in here. Being very valiant with keeping these medkits, but they're not going to be able to do it for much longer unless they can find some pain pills. There will be ammo replenishment coming up, but there'll be an ammo pile as well as an unsilenced SMG. Charger, Jockey, and a Boomer will be the spawns so far. Final spawn is going to be a Spitter. So they have a 2-2, but they do have a Charger. Boomer from above gets a nice boom onto 2 survivors. Nicely done by Toph there. All spawns are going to be moving in. No connection from the Charger or the Jockey, and so the Spitter can't make much happen from it. That's very unfortunate. Perhaps a little bit of rushing going on there, really, because Nick was in a very bad situation, and he's very high HP. That's going to secure the survivors out into the open area here. They're making it quite far. They're making it quite far considering how much damage they took from the tank. They actually managed to find some pain pills as well, which is exactly what they were hoping for. They do not want to use those medkits. Charger, Boomer, Hunter, and a Smoker so far. Well, not so far. That is actually the setup. Boomer from below getting a connection with 1 survivor. Charger from above, Smoker from behind. Successful smoke onto Ellis as well as a charge. Everybody's piling onto Ellis here. They do not like Ellis. He's going to be going down. Hunter is waiting above as well. Hunter's going to be trying from below. He gets shut down nicely by Nick there. So that's going to be a successful in-cap. But obviously, Ellis, the in-capped guy, has pain pills. So he'll be able to take them. He takes them immediately without hesitation. So, we're going to have to see if they can actually make it to the safe room, let alone make it to the safe room with 2 medkits. They are clearing some good distance here, and they are actually doing very well. They still have a witch to deal with, mind you. The witch is 80%, and she's just in the room. Nick is going to try and get the witch there. The witch is on full aggravation, nearly. on 99% aggravation, and if they get anywhere near her, they'll trigger her. Boomer goes from behind there, gets a Boomer to 1 survivor. They're still scratching the wedge here. She's on full aggravation, so they don't really have much option but to trigger. Nick is going to go for the remote crown, gets the remote crown actually, very nicely done by Zaros, aka Nick. Smoker's going to be trying to get some damage here as well as the Spitter. Not very much happening though, very nicely done actually by Zaros. There's going to be a smoke onto Ellis, but will be shut down before much can happen. So, we have a charger so far. Second spawn in 1 second is going to be a Hunter. The final spawns will be up in 9 seconds at least. So far they have a charger Hunter. We'll have to see what the completion will be. They're going to hope for something significant here, which will be a jockey and a Spitter. So it's quite good really. Quite good considering the upcoming choke point. They're going to try to make it work to the best of their ability. 2 medkits still in the hands of very annoying children, and 1 set of pain pills given to Rochelle. And whoop, Hunter from the back, very nicely shut down there. There's a charger landing in the spit, and the jockey in the spit. That's the kind of stuff they're looking for there. No successful in-caps, unfortunately, but some good damage nonetheless. Will it be enough damage to use a medkit? Well, we're going to have to see, because they're still going to get at least 1 more attack, potentially. Safe room is quite close, though, so they're going to have to be very quick with sending the attack in. They need to wait at least 5 seconds if they want a 4-person attack. So they will manage to get 1 more attack, but obviously this could be their last unless they manage to get some in-caps. You have to consider that Ellis is on very low HP. There's a Boomer landing onto 1. Hunter in the back, going to successfully in-cap Ellis, which is exactly what they needed. Smoker's going to spit on that's a very nice damage happening there onto Coach. He may even go down. Coach will be going down as well. Very nicely coordinated attack there. That's going to secure 2 in-caps and it's going to slow them down significantly. There will be 1 more spawn coming up in 3 seconds as well. And that spawn is going to be a charger. As a result of those incapacitations, they're going to be allowed 1 more attack, potentially. They need to be quick though. They have a jockey and they're going to look to send them in straight away. They can't really wait here. Scratches happening from the charger. There'll be an in-cap as well as a charge onto Coach. There's going to be a scratch onto Nick by the jockey. Final spawn is a Smoker. They still have no real reason to use the medkits because they're so close to the safe room, and they're going to be making it into the safe room with those 2 medkits they have been keeping a hold of for, you know, all of the map really. Very well played. 115 bonus points will be acquired. So very well played. They actually have, at the moment, a 1,000 plus difference. That is only because the Baguettes and Wine have not yet played their survivor side. They need to try and secure less of a point difference here. So what we are seeing here is going to be a laughter tank again. He actually, not gonna lie, he played a very good tank last. Aside from the fact that he got juked by Toph, but obviously you can't really fault him. Toph is a very good player. Nonetheless, his tank was pretty good. He landed some very good rocks and he played very well. So that's it's going to be his second chance to show that he is going to be a very significant contributing factor to their infected gameplay. Seeing something interesting from the Hunter here, he's trying to pounce onto the sign, try and get like a 25 damage pounce potentially. Unfortunately, as a result of the invisible walls, he's unable to get up there. He's just going to be pouncing around instead. Charger, Smoker, Boomer, and a Hunter are going to be the spawns for this gas station attack.
Oh shit! It's really storming.
We're seeing some good patience from the survivor side of Baguettes and Wine. They're going to be moving their way out now. Smoker's going to try and get some separation onto Ellis, and that's going to be a charge of immediate. Hunter can't get much damage. He's shut down very quickly. Boomer does land onto 3 survivors, but very nicely cleared by Team Baguettes and Wine. Very well played in terms of being aware of where their teammates are, despite being boomed. That can sometimes be very difficult to do.
Reloading.
There'll be 2 spawns coming up at exactly the same time in 2 seconds, which Deadeye and Zaro. These spawns are going to be a Spitter and a Charger, accompanied with a Smoker, and finally accompanied with a Hunter. So they have a tri-cap minus the Boomer. Tank is going to be spawning very shortly around this kind of watchtower area. They have a Charge Spitter combination, so the survivors need to be very careful of that as they're making their way back. It is a Laughter tank, and Laughter is in the hands of a Hunter. So, you know, yeah, that's not really the best spawn, which is very fortunate for him. The Charger and Spitter can still make something happen. Hunter's going to be pouncing in. He's just going to be shut down before anything had happened, so perhaps they could be getting rid of the spawn. I'm not entirely sure. That could have been miscommunication, could have just been a sack. You never know. Spitter, Charger, and a Smoker will be their setup. There's going to be 9 seconds to wait before they get the final spawn. So, tank is now in the hands of Laughter, who will be moving his way. There's a Charger around the corner here. Is going to be moving in. Gets a connection onto Rochelle there, as well as a Spit, but the Spit spread isn't great. There is a rock landing onto Rochelle. Rochelle's taken so much damage here. There is a car there as well, which needs to be very careful of. The tank doesn't have any spawns though, so he is going to be moving his way back onto the roof. There's 2 survivors on different locations here. As we can see, guys, there's a lot of miscommunication happening. This is genuinely miscommunication. 2 survivors are in 2 different locations each. Curve rock round the corner there is skeeted by Nico. Tank's going to try and get the rock the car connection. Unable to do so, but we'll keep trying. Boomer from below gets a boom onto 1 survivor. Will stumble the tank though. That car's not proving to be very cooperative. Trying to move the car in, but they're already inside. They're actually, considering how badly that looked for them, they've managed to get inside, which is very good for them. Tank is going to try to get the car in, but it's still, like I say, not cooperative. Charger's going to successfully land onto Rochelle. Will be cleared quite quickly. First punch of the tank is going to be missing there. Gets a connection onto Coach, and he's going to be moving in. That forklift is not actually hittable. You know, it's very lucky for them. He's going to try and get a connection onto somebody else. He's spreading the damage very nicely. This could be it for them. 2,000 HP on the tank, and spawns are still remaining. Tank on a 1,000 HP and gradually declining. There's going to be a dual cap here and a punch, although the Hunter will be mealeed off. There's a boomer landing onto 1 survivor. Nick is going to try and juke the tank and try and kill him before he can get the kill. Tank is on 200 HP. Unfortunately, this could be it for them, and it is it for them, guys. Very sorry to say. They could not narrow the gap, so there is a 1,000 difference between these 2 teams right now. Still a chance for Team Baguettes and Wine, but unfortunately this is a very big gap for them, so they're going to have to play very, very well if they want to see themselves still in this game. Scoreline as it stands is 2,318 on Team Very Annoying Children versus 1,225 on Baguettes and Wine. So, slightly unfortunate point gap there. We'll still have to see how they play. We are going to be seeing a Nico tank. And as we saw before, Nico was actually a very, very good tank. Which, I'm not going to spoil anything other than the fact that Nico is a very good tank. I have seen his tank in a game I commentated beforehand, and I know what he can do. So that could be the turning factor here, depending on whether they can make the comeback happen. Which I will be assigning no. So they're going to have to try and make this Nico tank work to the best of their abilities. Bearing in mind how good Very Annoying Children are on survivors. They are very good, and they are very aware of their surroundings, and very mechanically gifted players. Obviously, you have to be somewhat gifted, really, to make it to the semi-finals. Both of these teams are very good, and they are the top contenders. So, making it to the semi-finals alone is enough to say that these guys are not here for a joke. They are here to win. Hunter, Boomer, Smoker, and a Charger will be the setup for the safe room attack here. Depending on how they play it, they do have the chance for separation with the Smoker, and Boomer gets a rocket actually onto Nick. There's a separation charger onto Rochelle, as well as a charge. She stops mid-track though, unfortunately, and the Hunter will be skeeted by Zaros. Very nicely done there. Something worth mentioning, in case anybody is confused by what happened there, essentially what happens with the charger is when the charger is kind of charging and traveling, if the Hunter pounces the guy who's being charged, he will immediately stop mid-path. That was very unfortunate for them, and the reason why that was unfortunate was because the charger couldn't get much damage as a result of it. So you have to be very careful of that, guys. The Hunter can stop the charger mid-charge. Charger, Spitter, Hunter, and a Boomer will be the attack they have for the Witch. They're going to look for the remote crown. Coach is very nicely positioned here. He could be able to get it. He does get it very easily. Boomer from the fence will be Hunter will be shut down as well, just immediately. There's still a Charger up as well as a Spitter, but those will be the only remaining spawns on the side of the survivors. So on the side of the infected, excuse me. Survivors and infected are different people. So yeah, only a Charger Spitter, which was dealt with very nicely by Coach there. So that's 25 bonus points awarded. There will be a Spitter moving in, which is in the hands of Nico, so that will be going to AI. Charger, Boomer, and the Smoker is what they have to work with the tank so far. They do have a Boomer. Survivors are going to be they're going to be positioned not perhaps in the best location. Although, what is the tank talking about? I'm not actually sure what's. That's very interesting. So we do have a Boomer, just a little bit behind the survivors here on that roof. That's actually a very good location for the Boomer, which the survivors could be aware of. They're actually moving into the house. There's no separation from the Smoker as a result. They still have a Boomer and a Charger. The tank is just in distance now. Going to be looking to move in immediately. Unable to connect the first punch, and he's going to be going to get the car here. Survivors need to be very careful of that. 3,500 HP on the tank. He punches it over the van, but is unable to make a connection. He's going to try and chase them into the car. Misses the punch onto Rochelle there, and another punch. He could even die without making anything happen here. Trying to make something happen with the car, but unable to do so. The Charger is stumbled by the Boomer, still lands a charge, but is unable to make anything happen. And unfortunately for Nico, I'm so sorry for Nico, but he could not land a single punch in that tank fight. That is so unfortunate for him, and so demoralizing, really, because this tank fight was... They were very dependent on it, really. So I'm so sad for Baguettes and Wine. As you can see, guys, the survivors are on very, very good health here, and they're going to continue to be on good health. They keep this level of gameplay up. There's a Smoker behind the alarm car. Going to be looking to try and trigger the alarm car. They need anything they can possibly get. The Smoker wasn't able to spawn there, though, so he will be repositioning. No alarm car for them. Smoker from behind going to be looking to separate Rochelle. Tongue is cut. There is a separation. Jockey at the ambulance moving under the house will be shut down. Charger at the ambulance as well, trying to get some scratches. So as you can see, survivors are on very good health, and they're going to continue to be that way. All spawns will be down for at least 14 seconds, and they're going to have to wait that 14 seconds if they want to get a full. 3 spawns will be up now. There's going to be a Hunter, Smoker, and a Boomer. Final spawn is going to be in 1 second, which is going to be a Spitter. Very, very unideal setup for the infected side. Boomer's going to rocket from behind the van there, landing onto one. Hunter pouncing around. Smoker makes a connection with Nick, but is shut down before much can happen. Well, everything shut down. They have 4 sets of pills, 4 sets of medkits. So they're going to make it into the safe room here, and essentially, have to say it, guys, they are going to secure the win here. The bonus is the distance is just too much here, so I'm so unhappy for Team Baguettes and Wine. The tank was not able to make anything happen, and I really hope that Nico does not let that demoralize him, because as much as it didn't work for him, it's not a very good position to fight the tank in, especially considering there's so many ways to actually dodge the car. So it's not as if it's his fault entirely, you know. It is a very good place to fight the tank in terms of the van and the tree and all sorts. Final tank is going to be in the hands of Deadeye. Deadeye will become the tank. That's going to be the final showdown here. Hoping to see some tooth and nail fighting, even though they won't be able to secure the win. I'm hoping they're going to secure some honor at the very least. Very annoying children are going to be playing infected here, and they're a very good infected side, so I have to see what happens. Baguettes and Wine, they have shown themselves, especially Toff, to be a very good survivor side. I'm going to say it here, guys. I'm going to have to give the MVP to Toff for this game. Despite being on the losing team, he's definitely the MVP, showing some very good skill for them. Charger, Smoker, Boomer, and a Hunter are going to be spawning up here. There is a Smoker behind the telephone wire pole there, which is a decent spawn, I have to say. Some good separation attack. Going to be separating Nick here. There could be a tri-cap. There's a very nice tri-cap here, actually, just outside the safe room. Charger is on the boomed victim as well, so added common infected damage. Smoker as well got some damage, so Coach has taken a very significant amount of damage. I'm noticing a trend here actually. It seems like Coach, whoever's playing Coach on each of the maps, is taking a lot of the damage. So I guess both of these guys just do not like the character Coach. One spawn will be up in 1 second. That's going to be a Boomer, and accompanied with a Spitter, Charger, and final spawn in 2 seconds, which will be a Hunter. So Hunter, Charger, Spitter, and a Boomer will be what they have to work with here. There is a Witch, so that's what they're going to be. That's what they're going to be attacking with. Similar setup to last time in terms of the Boomer going to be behind the fence, well, he's going to be behind the hedge actually, more specifically. Going to try and get the remote crown. Nice remote crown by Toff. Charger's going to be moving in, makes no connection. There's a Hunter, 3 damage bounce Hunter onto Nick on the van there. Nonetheless, not a heck of a lot happening, so they're going to look to trigger this tank. As we can see, Ellis is moving forward, going to be looking to trigger it. They're going to hope to trigger it pretty soon, though, because spawns will be up in 4 seconds. They do manage to trigger it, and the tank has a long distance to travel. He does spawn fairly far away, so he will be draining a lot of his frustration quite quickly. That is a very far away spawn, as you can see, guys. Deadeye's tank there is going to have to be getting some exercise in. He's going to be burning several hundred calories there. Boomer successfully landing from the roof onto one survivor, which will be Coach. Charger from the roof and Smoker from below. They're not going to be looking to attack with it. Tank, as you can see, is already on 60% of pass number 1, and that is just simply because he has to run so far. 40% of pass number 1 and gradually declining. He will have to move in straight away, it's looking like. Just moving over the fence here. He's just about there, but on 85% of pass number 2. As I say, he's going to be moving straight in. He tries to get the car into position, but that's just behind the fence, so that's not going to be working for him. He's unable to do it. He may actually, with this car here, he may be able to get it over. He does get it over, very nicely hit there, so that's in a good position. Survivors are going to be making their way through the house. The Smoker Tongue is unable to connect. Jockey's going to be moving in with the Charger. Charger tries to get separation. He gets a nice charge actually into the fence. There's going to be a tri-cap attempt here. Not a tri-cap nonetheless, but it will be a very good attack. There's going to be Coach, a nice double punch there by the tank. 2 double punches and a double in cap there by Deadeye's very nice tank here. Going to be chasing down the survivors. Tries to get a punch onto Toff. Very nicely juked again by Toff, as we're seeing here. He only gets 1 juke this time. But, you know, the tank is on 3,000 HP. There's a smoke onto Rochelle there, who is separated. The in-capped guys are shooting the pistols, trying to clear the tongue. There will be a punch onto Rochelle and a boomer onto her. This could be it here. This is going to be it here. They're cornered. He's going to be throwing a rock into the face of Rochelle. That's going to conclude the game here pretty much, guys. Although they're delaying it, but there you go. That's going to conclude the game, guys. Your victors are going to be Very Annoying Children with a fairly big margin here. There's going to be 3,443 in Very Annoying Children's hands, and Baguettes and Wine 1,591. I'm very sorry to say that they weren't able to make the comeback, and it's very unfortunate for them. Nonetheless, it was very exciting, especially considering there were 2 people surviving in the previous chapter for that length of time. It was very impressive. Even though they lost, very impressive performance by Baguettes and Wine. And that's going to be it from us, guys. Thank you for tuning in. That we will be coming back with some more games tomorrow. So stay tuned, and we will see you guys again tomorrow. I will be casting. So good night, everybody, or good morning, or wherever you're watching from, and we'll see you soon.